once I sustain myself or fine, and then do the stuff that interest me. Since I'm a marketeer through blood, I always look for ways where it could be used in a way to be financially feasible and at least self-sustaining. So the aspect is always there when I do stuff, but it's not the driving force. So I don't have to go and hit some people over the head and trying to push hard to make a sale and to make money with it, no matter what. I can go and just let it go and see where it takes by itself without looking at the money or the revenue that comes and the profit that comes out of it, at the beginning. So, and what usually happens is that many of the stuff actually, you can generate some money. I do that with a lot of projects, actually, like business projects, where I don't push this thing and saying I have to get the last penny out of it. I'm living by the motto, what goes around comes around, and I'm getting more and more a true believer of that philosophy. And I think that it's true that you can make more money in a very short amount of time if you really just go and brute force and through it and ignore everybody and just yourself and do that. But I think that if you do it in a way that is not pushing, and you also do stuff for free or not or whatever you think it's right, then the statement "what goes around comes around" will show itself by basically paying you back rewards at a later time that is feeling much better, getting it, and it's also, in my opinion, much more stable and more robust, something that's more reliable that you can fall back on and that's lasting longer. And I would even argue to say that the overall benefit and the overall gain of doing it in a way that you don't push it, but do the right thing at the right time, whatever it is, the reward will be much greater as if you just go and brute force and just egoistic doing it and just for the money. You can argue about it, you can prove me, tell me that I'm wrong, but I like to argue that overall, bottom line, long term, you are better off to do it the way that you really also care about what's going on around you and not always look at money first. So I'm also interested in people, society, history, and I basically want to know what makes things tick. And there are like two parts of it. There's the physical part, what are the elements, atoms, molecules, and all that stuff, right on the small level. And then you have on the bigger level the same thing again. Society is also very complex, and it's also very interesting and follows different rules. But it's also part that makes the world tick, right? So that's what I'm interested in. And I also I have tons of books. I have DVDs. I can open a Blockbuster, and I have CDs. I have more than a terabyte. I think it's like 2 terabytes of video data, audio data, documents, images, and that kind of stuff. So I'm very interested in all kinds of stuff and keep record of it. So that's my interest. I used to do sport in the past. It's kind of like neglected a little bit over the past years. I have to get to it one day. So, but it's not high on my priority list. I used to do some martial arts stuff, and I was very good in endurance. I like mountains, so I used to love to hike in high Tatras in Slovakia. Didn't put that in writing here, but just if I get a bonus here with the video. The Slovakian, high Tatras mountains. I love those mountains. I've been there 3 or 4 times altogether, at least for like 8 weeks or something like that. So almost every trail I was hiking. So I love it. Anyway, so didn't do that here. Grew a belly and unhealthy American lifestyle. To do something about that, but at another time. So it's not my to-do list. So why are you an affiliate marketeer instead of say lawyer or accountant? Don't you think that it would be easier to just work for someone else? No. If you would know me, then you would know that it is pretty much never easier for me to work for somebody else, and that has multiple reasons. The first thing is I rarely do things that somebody tells me to do just because he told me to do it. I usually ask the why, and also if something that I was told to do is pretty boring or repetitive or stupid or whatever, then I look for ways to either eliminate it, automate it, improve it, shorten the time you have to spend on it, whatever, right? So that's what I automatically doing at that point. So because I just can't just do something and then just follow orders and then just do it until the day is over and then go home and start turning on my brain. That doesn't work. Then also I have a problem with authorities, because authority is not something you can just get by somebody like in an army. You're promoted to XYZ, and now everybody below you has to listen to you. I have authorities that I have respect for. Authorities that comes from people that know their stuff. That kind of authority I respect very well. All other stuff, authority that is coming from nowhere and is just giving away to somebody for whatever stupid reason, it doesn't cut it for me. When it comes to the business, I was in the German army, did some military service. I was a bad soldier, and I have that in writing, so go figure. When it comes to the business part, there's one saying, like a blog post by Lev Kirsch that was very interesting and made me think a lot. That was talking about commandos, policemen, and infantrymen, and puts use each as an example for a stage of a business. I can be doing a good job as a commando. I know. I can do also a good job, but only for a limited period of time as a policeman. I suck completely as an infantryman, so they have to shoot me, I guess. So, and I also put the links to the blog post from Lev Kirsch in there too. That makes an explanation of what is what. Last but not least, I'm not a morning person, and that is as long as I remember, and it always became an issue, always with any employer, even employers that knew before they hired me that there's an issue. And it was only once the reason why that it caused a termination of the relationship by my employer. So it happened only once, but it was always a item on the problem list or a stain on your clean record or whatever.